What if Petunia Dursley actually loved Harry? It's a question I've been thinking a lot about over the last month. So, I rewrote a few of the major scenes that she is in and how they would have been different had Petunia actually cared and loved Harry. Some of these scenes are really short, some of them are longer, and I want to break each of them between all 7 books. So I'll publish different videos every day for the scenes that I rewrote in each book. They're going to feel like quick memories in the pensive, to be honest. But they aren't the longest scenes or even the most detailed. But I know some other channels just talk about the differences it would make, but I really want to actually rewrite some of these scenes. So I hope you enjoy this. And if you do, make sure you subscribe. It's annoying to hear that in every single video on YouTube, but I think you like a lot of the content on this channel if you like Harry Potter. So make sure you like the video, please subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. And without further ado, let's get to the first scene of What If Petunia Actually Loved Harry in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Scene 1. Aunt Marge's Visit. The Dursley household bustled with last-minute preparations for Aunt Marge's arrival. Petunia smoothed the tablecloth for the 3rd time, then turned to Harry with a reassuring smile. "If she says anything unkind, you don't have to stay at the table, love," she murmured. "I won't have her insulting your parents." When Aunt Marge finally arrived, she greeted Vernon heartily, and then turned her sharp eyes to Harry. "Still here, boy? Living off my brother's charity, I see." Petunia's voice was like steel. "Marge, you will not speak to my son that way, and you will not speak ill of his parents in this house." Marge blinked in shock, scoffing. "Well, I never, and you never will," Petunia interrupted. "Now, if you can't behave yourself, I suggest you leave." Aunt Marge spluttered, but under Petunia's sharp gaze, she held her tongue. Harry, for the first time, enjoyed dinner with the Dursleys without a single cruel word against his parents. Scene 2. A tense encounter at the Leaky Cauldron. Petunia and Harry stepped into the Leaky Cauldron, the warm glow of lanterns casting a golden light over the patrons. Tom, the bartender, beamed at Harry. "Good to see you again, Mr. Potter." Petunia pulled her cloak tighter around her shoulders, eyeing the magical folk with wariness, though she no longer flinched at the sight of the wands. "So, this is where you're staying before school starts?" she asked. Before Harry could answer, a low voice interrupted. "Ah, the famous Harry Potter and his Muggle guardian?" Harry turned sharply to see Cornelius Fudge approaching. Petunia straightened, meeting the minister's gaze with a steely glare. "And you are?" "Cornelius Fudge, Minister of Magic, madam." He adjusted his bowler hat and cleared his throat. "I must say, it's quite unexpected to see you here." "Harry is my family," Petunia said coolly. "I take an interest in where he's staying." Fudge looked slightly flustered but nodded. "Well, rest assured, he's in good hands. There have been developments, but we're taking every precaution." Petunia's lips thinned. "Developments? What kind of developments?" Harry shifted uncomfortably. "Sirius Black, a dangerous wizard. He's escaped prison." Petunia's hand clenched around the handle of her purse. "And you're saying that he's after Harry?" Fudge hesitated, then forced a smile. "No need to worry, Mrs. Dursley. Hogwarts is the safest place he could be." Petunia stepped closer to Fudge, her voice dropping to an icy whisper. "If anything happens to my boy, anything, I will personally hold you responsible. Do you understand me, Minister?" Fudge paled, visibly swallowing. Yes, of course, madam. No harm will come to him." Petunia's glare lingered for a moment before she nodded. "See that it doesn't." Scene 3. A conversation about Sirius Black. Harry sat at the kitchen table rereading the article about Sirius Black's escape for the 10th time. Petunia noticed his troubled expression and sat beside him. "You know something, don't you?" he asked her. She sighed, pressing her hands together. "I didn't know him well, but your mother and father, they spoke of him often. He was your father's best friend, Harry. They trusted him with everything." Harry frowned. "Then why did he betray them?" Petunia hesitated. "That's what doesn't make sense to me. Lily and James, they would never have trusted someone who could turn on them like that. Something doesn't add up. Harry's mind spun. If Aunt Petunia, who had once been so distant from the wizarding world, doubted the story, maybe there was more to it than he had believed. Maybe he wasn't the one who did it, Harry murmured. Petunia squeezed his hand. Just promise me, Harry, you'll be careful. If he is dangerous, I don't want you anywhere near him. But if there's a chance that something isn't right about this, trust your instincts. Harry nodded, feeling a spark of something new. Hope. Scene 4. Home again. As the Hogwarts Express screeched to a halt at platform 9 3/4, Harry felt a familiar knot of uncertainty in his stomach. Would Petunia still be waiting for him like before? He stepped off the train, scanning the crowd. And there she was. Petunia Dursley, standing by the barrier, her eyes darting through the sea of students. The moment she spotted Harry, her face relaxed, and she quickly made her way toward him. "Harry," she called, pulling him into a hug before he could react. "Thank goodness you're back, safe and sound." Harry smiled into her shoulder. "Yeah, I made it." Ron and Hermione exchanged looks before Ron grinned. "See you, mate." Petunia straightened and eyed his friends. "Have a good summer, you two. Thank you for watching out for him." Hermione beamed. "It was our pleasure, Mrs. Dursley."